Welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, one of your hosts for this fabulous cable television show shown right here on KGov. Today we find us at Pepper Whistle, right here in the heart of downtown Kokomo. To my left, the ever something, I don't have any adjectives. It's April and Mike.
What's going on?
She has a list, so
we're talking about.
let's just check it off.
There's a lot going on this week.
You know, let's just knock off the desk first. Nelson Mandela, Paul Walker dead.
That's too bad. Too bad.
Does anybody have anything to say?
Too bad in both cases. Go ahead.
Nothing on Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, let's be honest.
Nelson Mandela.
You know, he's famous, and that's why we're talking about it. People die every day in horrible car crashes. It's sad. Nobody's talking about the guy that was driving his car. He's also dead. But B-lister. Sorry it happened. But
It was the hotness factor, I think.
his hotness killed him in the end. It was beauty that killed the beast.
It's one of my all-time favorite lines, and you've now tarnished it forever. Thank you. You know, I think the only thing geek-worthy about that, and you know, I don't want to be snarky about death like we've done in the past, but he's dead. There's nothing we can do about it. We didn't cause it. Right. Geek-wise, though, it does actually affect the next, like, number 7 in the series. Right. They were in the middle of filming, so it's going to play a part. Something is going to have to happen there. They're going to have to figure out a way to get around it. This isn't like a Brandon Lee and the Crow thing where they'd pretty much finished the whole movie and just clipped in a few scenes of his dentist in the background or something.
What I understand, it's stalled indefinitely. They have no plans, but they have. They will have to completely rewrite and reshoot the entire movie because he's one of the main characters.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. All right, Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, it's kind of like, but if you have accomplished so many positive things in your life, then maybe it's not that sad.
This isn't a world leader that's going to the grave without having some pretty amazing checks on the checklist.
Right.
Geek-wise, you know, we could look at the different actors and whatnot. I think we've got one of our favorites right now getting ready to play him, which I can only imagine. Yeah, Elba's just so good. Yeah. So you got that. You had, what is it, Morgan Freeman?
He did in that soccer movie with Matt Damon.
I mean, there's you know, geek elements. Not that everything has to be geek. It's GeekStorm. I suppose it all should be actually geek related. But an amazing leader. He's passed away. Yeah. And he was 90 years old.
95 years old. I mean, that's a full life, and he accomplished a lot. And his wife, and that's one thing that'll come out in this film too. This film with Idris Elba is very much about his younger life and his prison life.
Idris Elba, for those who aren't in the know, Heimdall from the Thor movies. Definite geek cred.
Right. He's been in a lot of movies.
It's awesome.
And a lot of geek movies too. So that's something to look forward to, and you'll find out too in this movie that I just saw an interview about how much you'll find out about his wife, Winnie, doing so much and being such a big part of that movement while he was in prison.
He was in prison for a long time.
Yeah. So it's very sad.
So the Paul Walker passing news kind of translates or whatever the heck. That's not the right
word.
What
do you got?
Here. Yes, segue. Thanks.
Nothing to run around.
It's okay. Into the casting for the new Wonder Woman for the Superman vs. Batman.
All right, well, you're a woman, she's a woman. Tell us, what do you feel about this?
Well, first she's a Gal Gadot, or how do you say her name?
Gal Gadot, I believe.
I think so.
Okay, and she is also from Fast and Furious. You mentioned earlier that she's
She's painfully thin, and I brought it up before the cameras rolled that I don't know how to possibly say this without being sexist. I don't know how you get a woman that small to bulk up like a Chris Evans or a Rock to do a role where in like 6 months we give you a personal trainer, we give you pizzas and donuts every single day, or protein shakes, whatever it is.
I want to see a woman after pizzas and donuts.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is, you know, and I said it's a sexist thing, but I think this might be a situation. I don't think they're going to go with the iconic look of Wonder Woman being this big woman. I think they're going to tone her up.
She should be physically imposing. She should be, and she's not going to be.
So,
I could punch her.
Tom Cruise is like 4'3" or something, and we make him always look like he's 6 foot. So, I mean, there's things that we can do with her.
This is Wonder Woman, okay? Everything Superman is with none of the weaknesses. That's Wonder Woman, okay? And this chick is very wafy. I mean, she could be a Batgirl or, you know, one of the other characters that's not supposed to be imposing, a fight or whatever. Right. She's beautiful, great. There's a lot of beautiful actresses in Hollywood, but they had other choices.
Face is, she has a good face for it.
Yeah, I mean, they chose somebody that was kind of a little European-ish or
her Israeli heritage, and as our producer had informed me, I mean, she is Israeli, so she has done, I want to say it's a 2-year stint in the military. So, I mean, she has got maybe some of that kind of warrior aspect to her. I mean, the casting for this whole thing is starting to kind of get a little muddled. They are
It's
getting.
a little trendy looking, in my opinion. Like, they're hiring very.
Well, you got Cavill coming in, who's the guy who I think is the most unknown, but did a pretty good job
Yeah,
as
but
Superman. And
he did a good
he's a
job.
sexy bastard. He looks good. He's got the jaw.
He's got that look that I want to say late '80s, early '90s Superman comics look. You know, just very square jawed.
He's pulling it off. Ben Affleck. Here's the thing: is your movie currently, and what there is no such thing as bad press. So regardless, that we're now talking about something. And they've got us talking about it, and it's going on and on and on. But Ben Affleck got you into it with casting. Wasn't about the script, wasn't about the director, wasn't about the budget. We're talking about Ben Affleck. And now this casting has, as soon as the Affleck thing is kind of starting to calm down, relax, boom, we're all talking about it again. So, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. I'm going to give the movie a chance, of course, and then I've also heard background rumors of The Flash.
I saw that, and somebody,
our
producer said, no.
I call
it's
horse.
just a rumor,
I call crap on that. I'm not buying it. I don't see it at all. So it doesn't make any sense to bring him in.
Yeah, well, everything just gets kind of confusing, I think, and when you bring too many people in, which also
All right.
brings to our next point.
So that's us on Wonder Woman.
Sure.
The other, I mean, no, I'm not quite done on Wonder Woman. Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know that there is a more iconic female heroine role ever.
There isn't.
You know, she's as you said, she's Superman. She's a female Superman. And it doesn't matter whether we go to Marvel and we pick out their best female character, their strongest, whatever. She's been around the longest. She is it. She's the holy grail of female hero characters. And I just hope that, Ms. Gadot can really, it doesn't just understand. I mean, this isn't just a role. This is a big deal. And
what I wanted out of that casting, what I wanted was them to throw a name out there and go, and me have not thought about it and go, oh man, that's awesome. That's what I wanted. And that's what I wanted for Batman also. And didn't get it out of either one. Now, will they do a good job? We'll wait and see. That's
Ben Affleck's a good actor.
movie. Oh, sure he is. Absolutely. I don't, I'm not on the
I
reindeer
think they
game.
should have cast me as Wonder Woman.
Oh, no question. No question.
Sure.
What's your next?
Mike could have been Robin.
I have been Robin. Go ahead.
That was going to lead into something when I interjected. I apologize. What do you got?
Spider-Man 2 trailer?
Didn't watch it.
Oh, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
I thought the graphics were kind of crappy. And
They are very early CG.
Yeah.
CGI.
And they let him out like an official trailer.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell everything was not completely rendered. It didn't look.
Well,
It
yeah,
didn't look
like
like uncut, like we're just showing this to the
textured,
execs.
right, or
But
even almost
yeah,
tiny.
there was a lot of it that looked like video game, no question.
Wow.
And they're getting into that thing that one of the main complaints I had about the previous Spider-Man movies is how much when Spider-Man is swinging and jumping around, looks weightless rather than swinging, rather than using gravity. But it still looked really cool. You got to look at
Rhino?
Yep.
You did get a very quick look at Rhino.
I've heard a lot of people very upset over the Rhino.
Yeah.
What? Why?
It's a robot. I mean, it's him inside
It's
a
an exosuit?
transformer suit. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, going back to the original, it was an actor or a stuntman, I want to say, inside
Right.
of a suit
Right.
that he got stuck into, like chemicals or something.
right.
So I mean, there's something to be said. If they didn't, we'd be griping as fans.
Well,
we'd be griping that they
people are
didn't
always gonna
pay
find something.
tribute, or there wasn't enough homage to the original. So I don't know. There's a fine line.
One of everybody's biggest complaints about the Raimi movies was Green Goblin being a Power Ranger, not being in a suit of some kind that's a little more
Gotcha.
classic. And this is going to be, for me, this is my biggest complaint about the movie. Now, I don't have a ton of complaints about this because we don't know much about it. One of the things that I liked the most was the casting of Harry Osborn. This kid is creepy looking. Okay.
Oh.
He was in.
Yeah.
Did you see Chronicle? The one found. He's when you see the pilot, you don't know what I mean. He's a creepy looking dude and a young actor, and I think he's going to be the guy that kind of breaks out in this movie that you're going to be really impressed with, acting wise. Anyway.
It definitely felt like he was definitely going to be one of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you see a figure walk through. They're talking about some of the Osborn stuff, and Aunt May kind of it seems like she's going to open up a little bit more of this mystery about the Parker family.
Okay.
And you see a figure kind of walk through this lab, and you see in the background Aunt May or somebody's talking about the things that Osborn was doing with Parker's research. and you see
His dad.
No, yes. You see a cell with what look like octopus arms, and you see a cell with what mechanical wings. So that makes you think, oh, Sinister Six. We're going to see these two maybe in the next film or whatever. So
Well, and it was largely about the whole breaking the whole secret.
right,
So.
yeah. Peter finds out some things about his parents, or
Okay.
at the very least his dad in this one. You get that distinct feeling, which was kind of alluded to in the first movie, but they didn't really explore very much.
Very cool.
So see the trailer and enjoy it.
On a non-movie related note.
We got more movie stuff, but okay, what do you got?
Oh, well.
No, go
it's
ahead.
okay, we can.
Go ahead.
We'll go back and forth.
The Amazon drones. Have you guys all?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've already joked.
Yeah.
5 minutes after the first Amazon drone
Yep.
goes out, the first Amazon vulture drone goes out to
Right.
attack it,
Right on.
kill it, and steal it.
Right.
The Somali
Okay,
pirates
big
right
news.
now are working hard in labs to create vulture pirate drones.
Right on.
Kind of a big new, a geek-centric type thing. I mean, that's a big.
Well, here's the thing too. Maybe not right off the bat, as far as.
I don't think it'll be successful.
Well, I'm talking about the vulture drones, because it's going to
yeah.
happen. People are going to go
Yeah.
after these things,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's with a shotgun or whatever.
Some
but
kind of EMP.
how much money am I willing to spend, and how much trouble am I willing to get into for a copy of Da Vinci Code that's going to?
Well, you don't know. Well, I suppose maybe you could somehow hack it. I mean, we're talking, some movie type stuff, but the truth is the guys in Kentucky with some shotguns are going to be able to take this shit down.
Right.
It's not going to be that tough, I would think. But I don't know. I think right now I see this whole drone thing as flying cars. It sounds good.
Right.
It should be able to happen.
Right.
Logistics, price versus loss. How many of these things are just going to flat out go? One, the drone itself is going to cost money. When one of these things fritzes out, goes bad, which is going to happen.
And wrecks into somebody's house and kills.
And think of the premium you're going to pay for 30-minute delivery.
Oh, man.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be
So-
$50.
For light bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, very geeky related. Other news stuff in movies was the announcement by Bryan Singer of the next X-Men movie.
Right.
I'm not even gonna bother with it. You haven't got me you haven't got the current X-Men movie out yet. I'm a hardcore movie guy. I love the X-Men. I love comics. I really like Bryan Singer for the most part, even though I think he's had some real duds on his hands lately. And you're gonna announce the next big thing? Maybe you should make sure that this one you got coming out makes some money first, because I think it's gonna do well. But if there's eventually going to be a comic movie that's going to come out during this trend that's going to flop. X-Men has, I don't know, man. It
I think
could.
when it happens, and you're right, it'll be some single secondary character they threw out that they took a chance on his own movie. That won't be the flop, and that will make studios take a step back, I think, unfortunately. I really hope they stay away from that as much as possible. I think the thing with this coming out, X movie, the Days of Future Past, will probably be the most successful X movie of all, because
I hope so.
It's essentially an all-star X-Men movie. It's got every character from every generation. All of them should be in there. Not 90% of them.
I say, I don't think. Well, they might have a Cyclops, but I don't believe it's going to be our Cyclops.
I don't know.
I don't think they've got the actor back. What's his name?
James Marsden.
Yeah. I haven't heard he's coming back. So who knows? But yeah. So they announced X-Men Apocalypse or something.
Yeah,
like
Age of
that.
Apocalypse. He just and when you say announce, I mean we all took it that way, but all he did is hashtag Age of Apocalypse. That's all he did.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's all he
Okay.
did on his Twitter.
Okay.
Hashtag Age of Apocalypse. That's all he did.
He
But that's all it
was.
takes, because there are people that just us who are like,
on it.
oh my gosh, Age of Apocalypse, and we want to know what's going to happen. So that's for those of you who don't know, he's one of the major
Villains.
ex villains,
Big guy.
probably next to Magneto, probably the
Modern.
second back one.
He was an
best known
80s
one.
character, so
Right.
I'd say he's one of the biggest modern. And plus, the first ship did not have Magneto.
X Factor number 6 for those of you. At
X
home.
Factor number 5.
Oh boy,
For those of you at home.
I don't know.
Last panel, I believe. Last panel, last page. X Factor number 5. Officially in the guides, I think it's 6, but it's like Wolverine, Incredible Hulk 180
Sure.
is the first Wolverine, not 181. Even though 181's worth all the money.
It's funny when you say that, because we're going to go off on a tangent here, but some things like that, Wolverine 180 or Hulk 181 is the most expensive book of the origin of. Even though you're right, on 180 he's on the last page, but there are other like that Taskmaster we were talking about the other day. It's just he's just on a flash on the last page, but they consider that the one, and that's the expensive. one.
Bullseye's
So I don't-
he's another confusing one because there's an old Shield book that's got a
Right.
character called Bullseye in
Right.
it. Looks nothing like our Bullseye, so
Right.
I'd have to you go back and forth. Like Shield is going up in value. The old Shield comics.
Let's talk about Shield for a minute,
All right.
because that was not interesting at all. Let's talk about Shield for a minute. Okay, you and I were talking about Arrow, and April watches Arrow. and how good it is, okay? Arrow is doing everything that S.H.I.E.L.D. should be doing, okay? They are using characters, whether or not they use them well or not, they're at least using characters in the DC universe in Arrow and introducing them on TV. Whereas S.H.I.E.L.D. is making up characters, and I think maybe once or twice have they actually used a villain in which it's a part of the Marvel Universe, and not even secondary, tertiary characters that they've used. So Arrow, I was not a big fan of the first season. The second season, I really liked a lot, and like we just said, this last episode was
We didn't tell them yet about
one of my favorites. Well, I'm talking to you about it. What had Barry Allen, and they keep using this Brother Blood, and
You got Brother Blood, Barry Allen, Cord mentioned, Argus mentioned, Paranambot mentioned, Ra's al Ghul flat out named.
I know.
I called Raw. What are you going to do about it?
Deathstroke.
I'm going to leave now.
Right.
I'm John Barrow. I'm going to get on. I'm leaving. I'm going to take off.
Goodness gracious, what was that?
I'm breathing.
We are talking about
I'm
the
dead.
best week in comic book television in our lives. This gave it to us all. This really
It was
did.
good.
Perfect casting. Everybody's going great in this. The one thing I noticed, and maybe I just missed it, if anybody else is watching Arrow, did they not show the next part in the 2-minute mini thing they've been doing in the commercial? They have Felicity and Roy Harper doing this little thing.
I watched it on demand, so I didn't have that part.
Okay. I don't remember it. I actually watched it, and now I'm fat. You didn't see it either? Producer guy didn't see it either. They've done, it's like a 6-part
Oh,
thing.
you mean the commercial, the whatever, I understand.
There's a Bose commercial,
Yes.
but it's a story.
I didn't see that
And they're,
in this one.
And this is the first time I haven't seen it. So I'm watching, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. I kind of like this little thing. I'm sure it'll be DVD special, but it kind of took me off and I didn't get to see that. But back to that episode.
Yeah.
This is the best comic book episode of any show I can think of besides The Walking Dead. This is the best superhero episode I think I've ever seen in my life.
You gonna fall out?
It is that good. Barry Allen's casting is so good. It is perfect. The look of the character's good. The stylings of the character's great. Everything. It's just dead on. If you're not a fan and you can't get behind this series right now, you're stupid.
That's good.
You are. And then I agree also with Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If they were to cancel that right now, I wouldn't lose any sleep. I'd be bummed just because
I want that to succeed so much. I've been really thinking about that quite a bit, and I think one reason it's failing is because it introduced you episode 1 to 6 main characters. Where if you go back to Buffy and you go back to Angel, which are Whedon's mainstays, you had maybe 3 main characters, and you were with them the entire time. Now, by the time the shows were over, they had a huge main cast that was great, but they built on that over a period of time. And it's hard to care about 6 people all at once, and hard to give them the screen time to make you care about
It does not have the spirit or feel of family that Firefly gave us. Firefly did the exact same thing.
Right.
And however, that was magic in a bottle. You cared about almost every single one of those characters.
Yeah.
And the thing is each fan gravitated towards their own character. To this day, Book Shepherd is my favorite character. Jane's the funniest, but Book is the guy that, backstory and whatnot, he's the guy I want to know about.
Right.
In S.H.I.E.L.D., there's one character in that entire show, which is May, that I care about.
Right.
And she's the only one that they have used in those. We're only going to give you a couple of seconds. You have a look, you have a nod. We're going to have the other characters mention something. That's all you're going to get.
Right.
And she is the only one that's developing. The rest, Fitz and Simmons, are still funny guys. And we've done each of those guys who've got an episode now. Fitz is I think Fitz is the guy. He is the only one that I actually liked his episode. The Simmons one where she's about to blow up and she I'm like, whatever. But the one where he's out trying to help Ward, that was a good little story. But overall, I just don't feel that they're doing enough to make us care about these characters. Have you watched it?
What?
Shield.
Totally
counts.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
So, Walking Dead, is it time? I mean, we've got.
Yeah, whatever.
Man,
care.
I mean,
You
The Walking
already
Dead's gonna take up some time.
had a schedule.
Doctor Who had a major episode with the whole Day of the Doctor thing.
Yeah.
And was number 2 at the box office for one day. They did one of those phantom releases.
Not here.
Got beat by The Hunger Games. That was the only thing that beat out a TV show.
Yeah.
So, they made some good bank.
Right.
And what blew me away, did anybody else watch it? Any producer guys watch Doctor Who stuff? No? Okay, I'm the only one. Great.
Let's just take a poll. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They like it down there, actually.
They
so,
do?
Yeah, don't go.
Okay, then let's just shoot these up
Yeah,
here.
there you go. They did a
No, I don't.
worldwide broadcast. Like
Yeah.
it showed
Unit
here in the
knowledge.
States, I want to say at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it was showing in Britain at their time and it was all over the place. Completely commercial free.
Right.
they put out what was going to be, for BBC, the highest rated thing all year long. And I want to say it was Apple or somebody like paid.
Right.
Like, we'll give you the money up front to have the commercial at the beginning and at the end.
Right.
And we're the providers of it. And it was an amazing episode. Blew me away. I mean, teared up a couple times almost, choked up. It's really good. It's they've got 50 years of history to splash around with, so they can bring it. And they've got actually.
So this is a character that you really do care about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, they have 3 actors who are no longer with us. So you know, it's easy to pull on your heartstrings when you know that somebody's passed away. So they didn't do that. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of emotional attachment and investment in that show. So, but Walking Dead. Sure. Speaking of emotional attachment and investment in a character. All right, let's just say right up front. I'm gonna cut you up for 1 second. You're just gonna say spoilers. It's gonna happen. You didn't watch The Walking Dead either? No. All right, so The Walking Dead. I'm like, come on, it's the #1 rated everything right now.
Right.
I don't know what could have possibly beat that episode.
It was awesome. It was. It had everything. It had everything.
I mean, yeah, wow. And
One of the best episodes of the series, I think. Definitely one of the best of the season.
Tributes to the comic, tributes to all the actors involved. I mean, just like it was dead on.
Right.
Pacing
I
was
yelled
great.
at the screen 3 different times. Yelled at the TV. I don't know.
I did that during a Doctor Who episode called Blink.
So obviously everybody's seen it. If you haven't.
We're gonna spoil it, so
Yeah.
turn off. Just stop at minute 20 or whatever, because there's no way you can talk about this episode without talking about the fact that Herschel and the governor both have perished.
Right. I had thought as soon as we saw them bring in the second Doctor,
Now that was Patrick Troughton. He took over from William Hartnell.
not
He
the second
regenerated.
Doctor, not the Doctor Who, the second Doctor into the.
Oh, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, different show.
Yeah. That's when I thought, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen to Herschel. We've introduced another Doctor, but then he dies in the flu thing. So
Yay! He's dead.
Herschel's saved. Herschel's
Except
saved.
for Herschel had given too many cool speeches,
Right.
and had acted in a manner that, for the foreshadowing for me, was like
Right.
puppet theater on the wall. It was obvious what was about to happen.
Yeah. As soon as the governor picked up that sword, that S word, and went over there, I thought for sure, please don't do this. That's when I thought it might happen. Please don't do this. And then he did that little thing where he kind of looks down and he's considering what Rick's
Like, oh,
talking
it's
about.
coming.
Oh, and then
Now, my wife watched it with me, and when that happened, because he hacked, and he doesn't kill him, he doesn't decapitate Herschel.
Right.
He hurts him bad. He's obviously probably going to die of this wound
Right.
without the medical technology that we have right now.
because Herschel can't fix him.
Herschel and the other doctor's dead. So, but my wife's comment was, governor's a bit of a, I won't say what she said, but she's like, Michonne, that would have been a clean, easy one slice cut. It would have been done.
He should have.
So-
He should have hit him and then walked right over to Michonne, like you said, and taken Michonne right.
And that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, maybe it was a half-hearted thing because he's like a liar and blah, blah. But I'm curious, and this we'll get into some technical, but stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. Why did we injure him so badly only to have him go back?
Crawl back a little bit.
Yeah, so what happens, yeah, you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, we're not gonna ruin that for you, but hits him, doesn't die, and then while the shooting starts and whatnot, goes over, and then finally finishes him off in a strange manner, just like, if I was the director, I
It was very brutal, but I don't understand it. It's not like they had it's not like they had any kind of personal grudge or anything. So why sit there and hack his head off like that? I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, if there was one guy that you might be a little bit compassionate towards,
Right.
it probably would have been Herschel versus the governor.
He alluded in the RV that he liked Herschel.
Yeah.
That he liked his willingness to be different than Rick. But then I think part of it was once Rick showed that he was willing to go in that direction, we can all live together. That just infuriated even more, and so that's
You're
where,
not better
that's
than
where
me
it
kind of
let
deal.
off. Yeah.
So you had that, and then as I said, we go back, you hack off, you go and you finish off Herschel, while ignoring Michonne.
Right.
Who's, I mean, just, if I'm gonna do my threat levels, and I gotta think I've got a tank, so this is how I think, what are the obstacles in my way to get what I want? It's pretty much the average every daily life of people. They might not put it in those terms, but I gotta go to work to make money. I'm here to take over this camp. I can kill this old guy in front of me, or I can kill this woman who has killed my zombie child, taken my eye, helped destroy my town. Herschel had virtually nothing to do with any of this stuff.
Right.
This woman is the biggest danger right now. She's close to me. If anything happens, she can take the other eye. She can do something. She's a danger. Herschel is a one-legged older fellow who, while he's cool and we both like him, threat-wise, he's the guy that's going to be able to shoot me in the back because I will take my eye off of him for a second while I finished her.
I think if anything, all you can say excuse-wise for writers and character is that in that moment, he just lost his crap, you know? He
Okay.
lost it and did what he was complete instinct and wasn't even thinking about it and was just, went black and was
Rage.
killing.
And I understand rage. I get that. He goes Hulk out and
Yeah.
whatnot. But then when he goes back to kill Herschel, though,
Yeah.
going back to the same conversation, we've obviously checked back in. We know that this guy needs to be dealt with. We're going to finish him off.
Right.
Well, I see you floundering around like a wounded duck. I'm now going to go kill Michonne, who I know is a day. Wait, nope, still no.
Yeah.
The other thing that just drove me a little nutty, and we talked about this off camera, was the whole conversation. Guy's got a tank, he's got a military situation going on here, he has got the upper hand. He has two people that you care deeply for. The prison itself has now twice been attacked from the inside by zombies.
Right.
Each time leading to what I would say is critical, devastating loss of life. I mean, really big numbers. You've already had the walkers get in through a fence in the last episode of the major thing. This place is not that defensible.
Right.
You've had more problems than you've had good. Why are we having this conversation?
But I think it's the best available. Even though it's got its big problems, big holes, I think it's the best available because Woodbury's gone. Obviously, a ring of campers out in the middle of nowhere circling the
And
wagons.
from the governor's point of view, Brian, I see it. From Rick's point of view, after suffering the loss that he has in this place,
Yeah.
and seeing how well Woodbury did, now forget Woodbury because we know that was burned to the ground. How is it we don't just go find? I just don't understand this conversation.
Yeah.
You've got me dead to rights. I can't win. And I know that trying to negotiate with this man, that's pointless.
From the showrunner's perspective,
So-
I think they just want him out of the prison. You know, they,
All right.
they want to get him going. So, okay, what else?
I don't know. She left us.
Well, you know.
hanging. Oh wait, everybody! It's April. She's
April.
back.
Amazing.
What else, April?
There's
What's
something else
going
on
on?
the checklist.
There's some freaking events in Kokomo.
Oh, let's hear it. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them because apparently you feel very strongly about the events in Kokomo.
It's the only thing I have to talk about.
Oh, you talked about Wonder Woman and
Hey, tell us about the events.
Okay, so it's the Christmas season.
I love Christmas.
Yep. There's all kinds of lights and shimmery things and pretty
love
things.
lights.
to
I love
look at.
lights.
I love
amazing.
lamp, but that's just me.
Just lamp. I like the Pixar lamp. The little ee.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Bounces around.
Okay, so Saturday, December 7th, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, from 1 to 5 in downtown Kokomo, Santa will be arriving on a train. There will be live reindeer, Santa's workshop,
Live
holiday
reindeer?
crafts. Yes.
Wow.
Usually there's one.
Will they fly?
They say reindeer, but I guess reindeer's the same
Yeah.
thing.
That's up to them if you have enough magic in your heart.
I do not.
I thought it was
very
magic
little.
And,
carrots.
and a talking Christmas tree as well.
What?
Yep.
I think that's brought to you by one of the schools that's not Kokomo. Might be Taylor.
It is one of the techno, yes, but it's not the Techno Cats.
Gotcha. I think it's
I
Taylor.
can't remember. Yeah, I believe it is.
Okay.
The dates might be screwed up on this, but Saturday, December 14th and 21st from 1 to 5, you can come downtown to the little house and visit with Santa. So that's something
Cool.
really cool.
Bring the kids, talk to Santa,
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun.
ask for things.
Bribe them, say
Right.
if you're not good, then,
Right.
yeah, that whole thing. December 7th through 24th at Planet Mind, your children, and you can make a family event out of writing a letter to Santa.
That's right next door here.
It is, just connected. You can come in to Pepper Whistle, have lunch, and then go right over to Planet Mind. It'd be an amazing little thing to do.
It's fun. Angie Myers used to do that, but she's no longer here, so
Yeah.
Planet Mind has graciously stepped in and taken that over for her, and it's been an event that's been going on in downtown Kokomo for a couple of years now, and I think it's a fun event that's inexpensive. Doesn't matter what, where you're at in life, you can do this, and
Right.
kids love it. It's a lot of fun.
If you feel like driving out to the Greentown area, there's the Pioneer Village is having their annual light display, which grows bigger every year. And this year, last year and this year, they've opened up the Round Barn. It's a really neat, like rustic Christmas feel with a 100-year-old sleigh. And on Fridays and Saturdays from 6:30 to 7, I believe, Santa is there for photo opportunities.
Ooh, 30 minutes. Big Elf isn't giving you much time.
Oh, wait, I might have screwed that up.
okay.
Something. It's something.
Check it out.
We Care Park on Gano and
Is weekend this weekend? It's first
yeah,
weekend.
yes.
Is it?
It
So it's
starts
the
today.
first weekend. It should be starting pretty much today, I
Today.
would think.
That's what it said.
I think.
Whoa.
All right, everybody, thanks for checking out GeekStorm.
Hey, one more thing.
We're gonna get the hell out of here.
In case you didn't know, I just found this out yesterday. Sean nominated for a Person of the Year by the Kokomo Perspective. And apparently there's no dress code, but his picture's on the front. Hey, thanks for watching, and have a great week.